Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Stallings. You know me here on YouTube as MarauderX, and as always I'm your host for Operation Recap, where I take some of the stories from Rainfall and I throw them here at YouTube because I don't... Why do I always have to explain this? Can't we just move past this, please? Alright, so this week, as usual, I have 3 stories that I've plucked from the jaws of Rainfall, and these stories are getting a lot harder to find as far as news. Again, dry area of the year, except for outside, it is pouring rain. But news-wise, this is the slow season, which means we're filling up our site with a lot more editorials, opinion pieces. There's a lot of really good ones out right now that I just kind of want to touch on. One in particular, there's a 3-part PSP retrospective. Go check that out, it's really good. And then we have a bunch of reviews. Our review team has been kicking out review titles left and right. I really don't see how they can do that, mostly because I get stuck playing a game and then I start, remembering that I have to think about the good and the bad of the game, which never happens. I just keep playing the game. So, go check all that stuff out. We've got a lot of stuff, and, it's our opinions, it's our editorials, it's just a little bit of, flavor to the news, rather than just the dry, boring news. So, the dry, boring news that I'm going to try to add a little bit of flavor to. The first story we've got this week is there's going to be a Hyrule Direct. This seems to be a big deal for Nintendo. They have been throwing out very specific Nintendo Directs aimed at specific games. They did one for Mario Kart. I'm assuming they're going to do one for Smash Brothers. It's their way of trying to keep the hype up for a game, considering a lot of people are looking for the Nintendo first-party releases, the big ticket names, and Nintendo's going to, hey, well, we're just going to keep throwing some stuff at you. This Nintendo Direct, again focusing on Hyrule Warriors, will be 8/4/2014. So I feel like I need to actually correct that, because a lot of our UK, the United States is the only place that does the month, day, year. Everyone else does day, month, year, which is one of those, why don't we do that? But so yeah, 8/4/2014 is going to be this. It is going to be at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. So for those of you who are in the US, that's your time frame to look for. And I think this is going to be the last really big bit of information on the game, because the game will be out in September. So we're coming close to the date. So I think this is going to be the last big hype train for it. So all aboard. The second story for this week is PlayStation Plus. If you are one of those people who have a Sony gaming product, either PS3, PS4, or Vita, PlayStation Plus is the kind of like gold membership if you were Xbox Live, but they give a ton of stuff out, and they give out free games. And this month they have 6 titles that'll be available for free, which is, I think, they're normal in terms of number. But leading the charge is a game that I'm really interested in, and I've wanted a copy of for a while. Dragon's Crown. It is an old-school beat-em-up style game done by Atlas. Garnered a little bit of press when people started looking at the character proportions of some of the characters, mostly the 2 female characters, one with a very large chest, the other with giant thighs that could probably kill a man. So it garnered a little bit of attention, but it looks like it's a gorgeous looking game. Just ignore that, but just look at the art style of the game. It looks amazing. I really wanted to play that. Other titles on the list, you've got Crisis 3, you've got Proteus, I'm going to butcher this one, Metrico, and I'm going to save that one for last, because Then you've also got The Road Not Taken, and the last one is Fez, which, it's a great game. I just had my issues with the developer. So, if you are a PlayStation Plus member, go check those out. Go pick a game. It's free. You get to keep it in your library as long as you are a PlayStation Plus member. Really not a bad deal to get free games. So, yeah, go do that. Just pimping out PlayStation Plus memberships. Sony should thank me. And the last story for this week, and I find this one funny, last story. I always want to put the last story graphic. I talked about that before. But this one is concerning Bravely Default. For those of you who do not know, Bravely Default Flying Fairy, title by Square Enix, came out on the 3DS, was a major release for their eShop, their digital, one of the first big titles that you could say this is, you know, available in physical or digital, so go for it. It has reached 1 million sales worldwide. And a lot of people sit and say, oh, well, it's taken forever. It's a slow million. It has taken them a little while, but to reach 1 million sales is a feat into itself, especially for a game that did not get the press that other Square titles normally get, say the Final Fantasy series. So for a game that seemed to be just kind of flying under a lot of people's radar, a lot of people, when I talked about this originally, didn't know it was a Square Enix game. So the fact that, you know, Square Enix, a company known for its role-playing game prowess, this one just flew under the radar. It's kind of the secret of mana of this generation. A lot of people, it's like, I've heard of it, maybe, but I didn't know Square Enix did it. So, one big thing about this million sales worldwide is they have stated that 60% of that have been outside of Japan. And they haven't broken down that 60%, you know, talking about X amount from the US, X amount from the UK, you know, X amount from any other region. But they have said 60% have been outside of Japan, which is, you know, kind of telling. A lot of people sit here and you know, like to toot the horn that JRPGs are a dying breed, looking at the Final Fantasy franchise and just how it's not gotten the positive press in most recent years, but doesn't mean the genre itself is suffering, and a lot of people just don't see that. So this is, you know, kind of a good indicator that JRPGs, they're doing well, and, you know, they're doing well outside of Japan, so there is a market for it, regardless of what other people want to naysay. So, if you haven't picked up Bravely Default, like I said, it is available on the eShop. Go check it out. I'm not sure if there's still a demo for it available. I don't know if they remove the demos, or how they do their demo system for the eShop. But if there is a demo, go try it out. It is a fantastic looking game. It also with a unique art style that just kind of makes you, you know, sit and appreciate it for a couple of minutes before just diving into the meat of the game. A lot of interesting features to the game as well. So, that's been this week's stories, news-wise. I hope I was able to, you know, spice it up a little bit, just to, you know, give you something else. Go check out those stories, and like I said, go check out Rainfall for all of the other editorials and reviews and opinion pieces and whatnot that we've been doing to, you know, kind of fill the time until, you know, the holidays, and we start getting a little bit more juicy news. Juicy. And I will see you guys next week. Till then, later.